Michigan Real Estate Compensation Rules.
Question 1. When feeding a resident with dysphagia, difficulty swallowing, what is the most important safety measure? Option A. Give them large bites to get the meal over with. Option B. Place them in a high Fowler's position, upright, for all meals. Option C. Let them feed themselves to promote independence. Option D. Mix all solids and liquids together for easier swallowing. The correct answer is option B. Place them in a high Fowler's position, upright, for all meals.
Initial salesperson coursework remains usable for a 3-year period after completion. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. The examination and application have their own shorter validity periods.
Question 2. When providing foot care for a non-diabetic resident, you should: Option A. Soak their feet in very hot water. Option B. Trim their toenails straight across. Option C. Cut their toenails down in a rounded shape. Option D. Use a sharp razor to remove calluses.
The correct answer is option C. 1 year from the passing date. A passing licensing score is time-minus limited even though it has been reported to the application. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Course validity and license minus cycle length do not extend the score period.
Question 3. You are caring for a resident who is very confused. You find them wandering into another resident's room. Your best action is to: Option A. Yell at them to go back to their own room. Option B. Take them by the arm and pull them back to bed. Option C. Calmly redirect them and walk them back to their own room or a common area. Option D. Let them stay there, it's not hurting anyone. The correct answer is option C. Calmly redirect them and walk them back to their own room or a common area.
The online application remains open for a defined 12-month period. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. A valid course certificate does not keep an expired application open. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass in payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done.
Question 4. A resident is sitting alone and appears withdrawn. The best intervention is to: Option A. Leave them alone to respect their privacy. Option B. Ask them if they would like to join a group activity or take a walk. Option C. Tell them to stop being sad. Option D. Put the TV on for them. The correct answer is option B. Ask them if they would like to join a group activity or take a walk.
A non-resident applicant must provide a mechanism for legal process connected to Michigan regulation. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Residency in the state is not itself a condition for salesperson eligibility.
Question 5. You are placing a resident on a bedpan. You should: Option A. Place the bedpan with the wide end toward the head of the bed. Option B. Place the bedpan with the wide end toward the foot of the bed. Option C. Place the bedpan sideways. Option D. Ask the resident to place it themselves.
The correct answer is option B. A post-office box may be used. Individual salespersons and associate brokers have more flexible address options than brokerage offices. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The mailing choice does not remove non-resident service minus process requirements. Question 6. How should a Michigan branch manager handle a situation involving the process used when a salesperson changes employing brokers, while the file concerns a farm parcel, a title commitment, and a dual representation concern? Option A. File a new pre-licensure course application. Option B. Keep both employers until renewal. Option C. Transfer the license through the county register of deeds. Option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. The correct answer is option D. Submit a ME+ modification request for a license transfer. Employment changes are recorded through the state licensing system. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. A deed-recording office has no role in transferring an occupational license. Question 7. Which choice best applies the state rule concerning the status that may follow removal by an employer before expiration to a compliance interview, while the file concerns a lakefront cottage, a seller net sheet, and a protected class inquiry? Option A. Automatic broker status. Option B. No employer status. Option C. Permanent revocation. Option D. Inactive county registration. The correct answer is option B. No employer status. Michigan does not offer a formal license minus escrow classification for salespersons. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. That status does not authorize independent real estate practice. Question 8. A file from Muskegon raises an issue about the agreement that defines brokerage services for a client. Which answer identifies the governing requirement, while the file concerns a townhouse, a property condition statement, and a disputed repair credit? Option A. A written service provision agreement. Option B. An unsigned advertising draft. Option C. A verbal promise from a customer. Option D. A tax assessment notice. The correct answer is option A. A written service provision agreement. Michigan brokerage services are organized through an agreement identifying the relationship and services. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. A public advertisement or assessment record is not a substitute for the brokerage contract. Are you looking for real estate actual questions? Visit our website pokerexams.com to access real estate study guide with actual questions and answers. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to get real estate answer key today. Question 9. Before completing a seller consultation, which rule should the associate broker apply to the function of a limited service agreement, while the file concerns a urban infill property, a property management ledger, and an electronic signature? Option A. Authorize unlicensed practice. Option B. Permit specified services to be knowingly waived in writing. Option C. Remove every duty of honesty. Option D. Transfer the broker's license to the client. The correct answer is option B. Permit specified services to be knowingly waived in writing. A limited service arrangement narrows selected brokerage services through a documented waiver. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Core legal obligations and licensing requirements are not erased by the reduced scope. Question 10. A Michigan exam candidate reviews a scenario involving the purpose of a property management employment contract. Which option reflects the current licensing framework, while the file concerns a subdivision lot, a title commitment, and a referral arrangement? Option A. Replace all lease agreements. Option B. Define the broker's management duties and handling of property funds. Option C. Transfer title to the property manager. Option D. Create a mortgage lien. The correct answer is option B. Define the broker's management duties and handling of property funds. Property management for another is based on a written employment arrangement. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. It does not convey ownership or eliminate contracts with tenants. Question 11. The broker's policy manual addresses the source from which a salesperson may accept brokerage compensation. Which provision should it contain, while the file concerns a rural acreage, a seller net sheet, and a team social media post? Option A. A home inspector. Option B. A buyer directly without broker involvement. Option C. Any cooperating salesperson. Option D. The employing real estate broker. The correct answer is option D. The employing real estate broker. Salesperson earnings for regulated activity flow through the employing brokerage. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. A transaction participant cannot bypass the broker by paying the salesperson directly. Question 12. A regulator asks about payment of commissions earned before a salesperson left a brokerage during a brokerage review. Which response demonstrates compliance, while the file concerns a single-family residence, a property condition statement, and a record inspection request? Option A. The new broker must collect it first. Option B. Payment is allowed only after relic insure. Option C. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Option D. The money must be forfeited. The correct answer is option C. The former broker may pay the income that was earned during employment. Compensation already earned under the former employment relationship may still be distributed afterward. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. A later transfer or licensing change does not automatically cancel earned income. Question 13. Which statement would be safest for a property manager to follow when the ability to sue for a brokerage commission becomes relevant, while the file concerns a small apartment building, a property management ledger, and a branch-office distance issue? Option A. A license is irrelevant in a compensation action. Option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. Option C. Only the buyer's signature is needed. Option D. An oral advertisement establishes entitlement. The correct answer is option B. Licensure must be alleged and proved for the regulated services. A person seeking judicial recovery for regulated brokerage work must establish lawful licensure. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Advertising or a participant's signature cannot replace occupational authority. Question 14. A dispute arises during a brokerage audit over fraud, deceit, or dishonesty in licensed practice. Which principle resolves the issue, while the file concerns a office condominium, a title commitment, and a financing contingency? Option A. A required form of negotiation. Option B. A grounds for occupational discipline. Option C. A protected marketing strategy. Option D. An automatic contract amendment. The correct answer is option B. Grounds for occupational discipline. Dishonest conduct undermines the competence and trust expected of a licensee. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Negotiation does not authorize intentional deception. Question 15. In Saginaw, a team member must decide how to proceed with gross negligence or demonstrated incompetence. Which decision is consistent with Michigan requirements, while the file concerns a condominium unit, a seller net sheet, and an unrepresented consumer? Option A. A substitute for continuing education. Option B. An exemption from supervision. Option C. A protected advertising style. Option D. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. The correct answer is option D. Conduct that can support disciplinary penalties. Serious carelessness and inability to perform regulated work can trigger professional sanctions. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. Education and advertising rules do not convert incompetence into lawful practice. Question 16. Which exam answer accurately classifies the rule involving false advertising by a licensee, while the file concerns a retail suite, a property condition statement, and a confidential price limit? Option A. A disciplinary violation. Option B. A method of deed delivery. Option C. A title minus insurance requirement. Option D. A permitted team slogan in every case. The correct answer is option A. A disciplinary violation. Real estate marketing must be truthful and comply with brokerage minus identification rules. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Deed and title procedures are unrelated to advertising honesty. Question 17. A new policy is being drafted for helping another person perform regulated brokerage work without a license. Which language belongs in the policy, while the file concerns a manufactured home site, a property management ledger, and a change of employing broker? Option A. A required referral method. Option B. A zoning enforcement function. Option C. Lawful delegation to any friend. Option D. Aiding unlicensed practice. The correct answer is option D. Aiding unlicensed practice. A licensee may not enable an unlicensed person to perform activities reserved for licensed practitioners. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Calling the activity a referral does not change its substance. Question 18. During team training, the supervising broker tests knowledge of practicing while a license is suspended, revoked, or lapsed. Which answer should the team select, while the file concerns a 2- unit rental, a title commitment, and an owner-licensee conflict? Option A. The person is treated as unlicensed. Option B. Only advertising is prohibited. Option C. The license remains active for pending deals. Option D. The employer may privately reactivate it. The correct answer is option A. The person is treated as unlicensed. Authority to practice depends on a current license in good standing. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Only the department can restore lawful status through the applicable process. Stressed about your real estate? We can take real estate for you remotely and undetected. We always guarantee a pass and payments only after results. To send us an email, scan the code or tap the link in the description and let's get it done. Question 19. A consumer asks the brokerage to explain failure to comply with a final board or department order. Which explanation reflects Michigan law, while the file concerns a historic residence, a seller net sheet, and an expired license issue? Option A. A private contract defense. Option B. A fair minus housing exemption. Option C. A separate basis for discipline. Option D. An automatic license renewal. The correct answer is option C. A separate basis for discipline. Final regulatory orders are enforceable obligations of the licensee. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. Private transaction terms cannot override the order. Question 20. Which compliance step is required when the transaction facts involve a right to list agreement that binds future owners for an excessive period, while the file concerns a student rental, a property condition statement, and a property management payment? Option A, potentially unenforceable under Michigan restrictions. Option B, a substitute for a deed. Option C, automatically superior to every mortgage. Option D, required in all residential sales. The correct answer is option A, potentially unenforceable under Michigan restrictions. Michigan limits certain long-term agreements that encumber future home-sale listing rights. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The arrangement is not a deed or a universal listing requirement. Question 21. A buyer representative notices a potential problem involving a listing agreement that discriminates on a prohibited basis. Which response should occur first? While the file concerns a vacant commercial parcel, a property management ledger, and a delayed possession term? Option A. The broker must follow it without question. Option B. The clause becomes valid after advertising. Option C. The discriminatory provision or conduct is unlawful. Option D. The clause controls if the seller requests it. The correct answer is option C. The discriminatory provision or conduct is unlawful. A client instruction cannot require a licensee to violate housing civil rights law. The transaction context changes the facts, but it does not change the underlying licensing duty. Private preference does not override public legal protections. Question 22. The state portion of the exam presents facts about the minimum age for an initial salesperson applicant. Which result is supported, while the file concerns an industrial site, a title commitment, and a cooperating brokerage? Option A. At least 19 years old. Option B. At least 21 years old. Option C. At least 18 years old. Option D. At least 16 years old. The correct answer is option C. At least 18 years old. Michigan requires an initial salesperson applicant to have reached legal adulthood. A written office procedure should produce the same result in comparable transactions. Higher age thresholds are not part of the current salesperson checklist. Question 23. Which brokerage practice properly addresses the approved education needed before examination eligibility in the Muskegon transaction, while the file concerns a new construction home, a seller net sheet, and a rejected counteroffer? Option A, a complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. Option B, complete 60 hours of continuing education. Option C, a complete 90 hours of broker education. Option D, a complete 24 hours of approved education. The correct answer is option A, complete 40 hours of approved pre-licensure education. The salesperson pathway begins with 40 approved instructional hours. In the described setting, the brokerage should document the step and apply it before moving forward. Broker coursework and renewal education serve different licensing purposes. Question 24. A licensee is comparing 4 procedures related to the examination provider used for the Michigan salesperson test. Which procedure is lawful, while the file concerns a mixed-use building, a property condition statement, and an assumed business name? Option A, pass only a school final examination. Option B, pass a county assessor examination. Option C, pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Option D, pass an examination administered by the employing broker. The correct answer is option C, pass the salesperson examination administered by SI. Michigan uses an independent testing vendor for the salesperson licensing examination. Applied to this scenario, the licensee should follow the rule before creating further obligations for a party. An employing broker may sponsor the applicant but does not administer the state examination. Question 25. At the end of a listing presentation, the parties question the step that produces the candidate identification needed to schedule the test. Which statement provides the best guidance, while the file concerns a cooperative unit, a property management ledger, and a security deposit question? Option A, schedule with SI before applying. Option B, submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Option C, ask a broker to create the candidate number. Option D, wait until a license is issued. The correct answer is option B, submit the online salesperson application and education proof first. Exam eligibility is connected to the online application record and verified course completion. For exam purposes, focus on the regulated relationship rather than an informal business custom. The identifier is not created by a school or a prospective employer.